Okay, we are going to speak about space and that. And I know it sounds very vague, but how we're going to start this off is we're going to go around in the circle before we have our discussion, and we're going to make our predictions of what we think we're going to have achieved space-wise in the next 50 years. So we're going to start at Neil, work our way around to Daniel.
Space
So
of
you
50
go, Neil.
years?
Yes, you can say in the space of 50 years, Ross. That was quite a classy joke. Ooh, it's a knee slapper.
They have to deserve to stop.
Yeah, okay.
So, Neil, you start.
In 50 years, I believe that we will have colonised the moon, not like extent of cities, like I said. There'll be like research facilities, mining facilities, and we will be making steps towards...
Inhabiting.
I wouldn't say inhabiting Mars, but making at least the first landings on Mars.
Yeah. Well, it takes
a long
takes
time
15
to
years to
get
get to Mars.
That's the thing, it takes a long time.
It's a long time.
Current
Like,
technology.
But that's the thing, they are already
It
making
shoots
the
15
steps.
years, not 5.
Yeah, 5.
They're
But
already...
5 each way, so I
Yeah.
mean, like...
Yeah. And the time they spend there as well, because they are there was Russian. Was it Russian?
Yeah, they just got
Russian.
back. Not long
They
ago,
were
yeah.
staying in a pod for 5 years.
Yeah, 10. Because
10
they're there
years.
and back, yeah.
Wasting it. That's fucking crap. I mean, yeah, you're
Exactly.
first
Russia.
person on Mars, but you've just wasted 10 years of your life. Which
No.
then you're going to do another 10 years to
Valuably
get to
spent
Mars.
doing Russian space things.
Anyway, Greg, your prediction.
I think we will have a working space elevator. You know, so no more
Really?
expensive shuttle rides.
Space elevators are very complicated, but I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah.
I
Actually-
cannot see that happening in the next 50 years.
But
I know
we'll
it's
get
the
till
We'll
the
get
end
to that.
of
We
it.
will get
Yeah,
to speaking about each other's
It
points
is
in a
very-
second. We'll get to each other's points. My prediction is that there will be like weaponized satellites in space. Like most superpowers will have them.
They're already getting there with
They're
the-
getting there, like NORAD and all that kind of stuff.
with the
but
guns that they have placed on ships, the laser.
it's gonna
guns
be,
were then
but I just think
long
it'll be like kind of more threatening, if you know what I mean, than it is now.
Even though we don't need
It'll
any
be
more
like,
threatening
No, I
than
know.
an bomb, but we will.
Oh, what's that thing from Gears of War?
The
The
hammer.
Hammer of Dawn.
And the power of
Well,
dawn.
we've basically kind of got that because
Hammer of Dawn.
Hammer of dawn.
because there's a thing they're building to shoot down missiles.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well,
So-
there is a thing on land that does that.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
What's the name of that again? It's a cannon.
It's
It's a-
something I can't fucking remember. Right,
Yeah,
Ross.
there was a-
They
Well,
used it in
mine, like-
Transformers.
Wait.
Well, mine was mine sounded cool in my head. Then everyone else, like your ones, you didn't really advance much in your predictions. I was just going to say we were going to begin our space militarization. We would start to have
No.
things
What?
for shooting things in
What?
space.
What would
We need it.
What
No.
would we need to shoot
No,
in space?
I believe
I think
that.
we
I
will.
believe the governments will.
It
as
won't
soon
be
as
militarized.
No, not militarized space, but as soon as you weaponize satellites, they'll be starting to research
Yeah,
how
space
to be
fights.
able to fight in space.
Yeah, and then
because
eventually.
what if somebody tried to see someone else's satellite?
Yeah, because you know how like we can't
Or-
really fight here
Yeah.
anymore, right?
Yeah.
We could end up
Unlikely.
just holding all our wars in space.
Everyone's just floating in
America,
giant
up,
armies
Russia,
shooting each
up.
other.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like Gundam.
You're a Gundam.
You don't know what Gundam is.
Fuck off.
It's a robot from Japan.
Yeah.
How would he not know what Gundam is?
I know, right?
He's
I'm
obsessed with
All
Japanese
about the
culture.
Gundams.
So you're saying
Did
I'm,
you say
I'm a
Gundam?
Japanese robot.
Oh god, god.
Right, Daniel, what's your prediction, Bray?
Well,
Please
somebody has
don't
actually already
say.
said something like I was going to say, but it was just
Sure.
I think there is going to be someone over. There's going to be at least some people over in Mars. Like, I don't think they'll be able to get back, as I've already
No, I
said
do.
before.
There might be a
the
to
thing.
me,
problem. They could actually die
Because fuel, there's enough fuel to get out there, just not enough fuel to get back.
What if you use hydrogen? The most plentiful, you know, what is it?
Yeah, but very volatile.
Yeah.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, the Hindenburg.
Right, so something that happened before the First World War,
Yeah.
or now.
No, I know, but still things go wrong.
Yeah.
And, like Apollo,
The thing-
fucking blew up.
That's the
on
thing. There's all this
re-entry.
stuff about the whole. They're like the ships could blow up or they could die out there. But the most worrying thing is what they might bring back.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't know what's in those substances. They could bring back a virus from Mars. They can survive on Mars. Like doesn't really do well on Mars
could
because there's
bring back
nothing
the
to
flood.
attack. But
They
then
could bring back the flood.
comes back to Earth and attacks all of us.
What if
We
there's
could
like-
have a zombie disease.
What if those tiny little
There was
parasites
Bruno
inside
Mars.
rocks on Mars and they go into you and it's kind of like overtake you like the thing in Mass Effect that takes over your brain?
Or,
And then people start fighting.
Greg.
They
I like
could,
Alien.
they could
Or alien.
bring back The butt ugly Martians.
There's a
If
more
you
of a
bring
visual
that
sense.
program.
Sexy, and then Justin Timberlake wouldn't have to.
Or you know what'd be a good way to prevent this? Space, a moon base. just drop
Moon base so
yeah,
we can test things there.
just drop the shuttle there. You get the one you use the shuttle to get from Earth. So you drop that one, go back to Earth. You're like,
Anyway,
yeah.
now we can discuss each other's points. Neil said research facilities and actual on-moon bases.
Yeah, very valid.
I think it's very, very possible. However, they need to first resume flights to the moon.
Yeah.
They don't even go to the moon anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I
we've
think
been there,
I
done
think I
that.
tried to
Whatever.
find that
Yeah,
out.
We've got the
Like,
flag.
That's so
we'd been
easy.
to the moon.
Got the postcard.
We'd been to the moon in 1969.
No, I would say ages ago. God.
It was whatever, but we have
I
been
think
back
so.
since then.
yeah, we've been.
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
It's not
it's
just, it
like-
wasn't just those guys.
No, no,
Everyone
it's
seems
been-
to think
no.
we went that once and we haven't been.
No,
back
it's been.
again.
There's like
Yeah,
there's like
there's
30 odd American flags on the moon. I can't remember how much it is.
There's
There's.
a lot.
It's pretentious. You don't
Yeah.
need the one.
Yeah, I know.
And a golf ball.
No, it's
Not
probably
more
off in
than-
space now.
Nah, there is gravity on the moon, so it'll come back down.
But
People
it's
seem
so
to
hard.
mistake thinking that there's no gravity
Yeah.
in space, but
Yeah.
there is gravity in space.
Yeah.
No, but like,
It's
do you
neither
think?
gravitational
Do you
wave,
think?
Captain.
So Neil, do you think they'd like mine the moon? Because we don't.
Well, no, because we've searched the moon rocks and it seems to be a lot of just sulfur and gunpowdery kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what it
But we
smells
don't
like.
use gunpowder. And
Oh,
stuff.
they
We could
thought
blow up the moon.
they thought there might be water on the moon.
There might be
frozen.
stuff deeper,
Yeah.
and that's why they'd have to go into the moon. Obviously, like the surface of Earth, you're only able to find some stuff, but it's not until you dig deeper that you find oil and gases and all that kind of stuff.
Lava.
That they might
Hopefully
be able
that
to,
white
that they
oil
might be able
wouldn't
to
be
find
such a
on the
big
moon.
deal.
Well, on the subject of like mining, I know it's not on the moon, but if you consider asteroids, that's where a lot of the
Asteroids
mineral
are one of the most
Yeah.
Asteroid
better.
asteroid mining. The first thing that really brought that up to me was that game Eve.
Mm.
And like me and Greg were saying before, Greg said this.
They are
Greg
coming
said
up
this.
with
We
a-
can't actually have this discussion without speaking about
Omega 3.
sci-fi and things, because sci-fi and things are what inspire you to think about these kind of things. And in Eve, there's a massive that you can basically start your own asteroid mining. Like
They're working on asteroid mining
Mm.
techniques where they've got like a little video on how it would work, how they
Mm.
go to the moon, then to the asteroid, mine
But
it, take a bath.
the first thing that has to happen is really, honestly, like NASA. I know NASA isn't even representative of us, but NASA is where all this big things happen. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone's going to start doing stuff first in space, it's NASA. But NASA barely get any funding anymore.
They don't get any funding now.
No, well, not right now. 'Cause
Yeah, exactly. The government-
NASA's closed right now.
Everything's shut down.
The government.
You don't get tweets from the rover anymore.
No.
I miss the tweets from the Mars rover.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look what I found today.
You can blame Howard
God
Baldwin
damn
for
it.
that.
You can. You can blame Boner. It's Boehner. You know that.
Oh hey boner.
On the subject of research stations on the moon, you can build. One of the things they were hoping to do is like not build ships that have any engines, just build ships that have solar sails, and you could build like lasers on the moon that shoot
Treasure
at sails.
planet.
So it's like pushing it through space.
That's quite cool.
Yeah,
Treasure planet.
exactly.
Treasure. That's cool.
Awesome. That was one of my favorite Disney
Yeah.
films.
I always forget it's Disney.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Based off of Treasure.
And Greg said space elevators, which is really interesting. Space elevators.
Space
like,
elevators would be really cool, and it would be.
It would be have to be in the middle of the
practical,
ocean
but how
for them to work.
would we build that high? Because we can't.
There are videos explaining how it works, but it's quite complicated.
He actually has
'Cause
the
when you get
material,
to that
but
point-
it's very expensive to make.
Like when satellites are in our atmosphere and when like aircraft are high enough in our atmosphere, they aren't actually flying, they're constantly falling, but
No.
because of the speed that they fall, they're just going round the earth, so they're not actually they are, so I don't understand how once you get that high it would start
it's
to
tethered.
bend.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be a straight line, obviously,
Do I
but
look like a scientist? You
but it's tethered, so they'd.
I'm a
But
bartender, not
no,
a scientist.
how they want to combat that
I'm a
is they
doctor,
want
not
they want
a
the
torpedo technician.
they want the launch platform to be in the ocean. So
Yeah.
if it starts moving, the launch
could
platform
move
just moves with it
with
in the sea.
That's pretty smart, yeah.
Because the ocean's fucking huge. So if it's gonna move much, it's not really gonna.
The only thing about that is now you wouldn't have to have those expensive shuttle launches.
Yeah.
You could bring up the materials you need for your moon base.
Yeah. They are expensive.
The International Space Station is so old now. Like it needs they need to put a new one on that kind of thing.
Or at least we need to figure out how we can get maybe like not artificial crap, but maybe we could like make them wear like metal, like actual magnetic things all the time, so they
Mhm.
wouldn't like get skinny. You
His
die.
belly just.
Nice.
You guys were looking really weird, and I was like, what the hell are they looking at Andrew for?
Right, Andrew,
They were like,
Because we looked at you and then you start getting
I
all
was like,
paranoid and
what?
looking back at
No, my prediction was about the weaponized
satellites.
satellites. But I think it's going to start off as this whole, it's to shoot down missiles, but then it could eventually become, fuck with us and I will blow up your capital city.
Or
I don't give a fuck, I will blow up your capital city. The only people I'd be worried about having that are Israel and everyone Israel fights with.
would they have the technology to create something like
Israel
that?
would, because they have all that money.
They have a lot of money, but are they putting a lot into
Israel's got
space
like one of the
research?
most advanced militaries in the world.
No, but are they putting a lot into space research?
God knows. If as soon as
You
there's-
never know.
As soon as there was a weapon they could use against the Iranians, I'm sure they would be right on
Yeah.
it.
So, well, Tom Clancy, his End War series, you know, the video game.
Yeah,
it
it
was
used
set-
that, didn't
It
it?
was set in the future. It's like
The
America
Europeans.
had, Europeans had the lasers,
Yeah.
that they could shoot down and everything, and the Americans had also the lasers, but they also had like basically it wasn't nuclear missiles. It was just like like metal rods that they just fired at such a velocity they
Yeah.
leveled.
That's pretty cool.
That was a cool game, that actually.
It was good.
I
They
enjoyed
made it
that
free
game.
to play on the PlayStation and the PC, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
because they
what's
didn't
that?
really do well on the consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it on Xbox. I sucked at it.
So I played it on
I
I
my
just shouted at it a lot.
Yeah, I tried
Would you
that.
do what I'm saying?
To be honest, if I was like probably playing that game proper, I'd be like properly more vicious than it allowed me to be in the game. I'm talking like Warcraft.
What was the other factor again?
Militarizing space.
That was me.
Yeah.
Military.
Which I can't. Obviously, like we're not talking about full militarization because we would not.
We're not
have
talking about
armies-
Star Wars.
We're
Put
not
it
having
that way.
armies
No,
posted on the moon just in case an alien comes by. Posted there for thousands of years. Nothing's happening, guys. Nothing's happening.
No, but the day they pack up the equipment.
Oh, come on!
Well, I don't know. My thing was just kind of like the start of militarization. So they might not even be there yet, but they might have like
Have like a little spaceship that
Start
goes up and
researching.
Sort of
can
like-
go about. So maybe they're trying to figure out like what they could attach to this ship to shoot the other
So,
guys.
sort of like,
No,
if
that's
you
the
will,
thing, like,
a United Nations
you're saying like
space command.
you can have ships going up there and all that. Like obviously just now like it's really expensive to even
Because
like,
it-
get
yeah.
up there. But
As soon as they
once
work
it
out
starts-
cheaper
yeah,
launches,
once it starts,
um,
it's just like your I suppose cars and all that.
No,
Like,
no.
when they first started, they were really expensive, and now they're just
like
an
Still
everyday thing.
really
expensive.
no, but they're not.
Yeah,
compared-
but not compared. Like
it's not just the world elite that have
Yeah,
cars now. Everyone has
Yeah,
cars. Like,
everybody.
Isn't anyone actually worried? We're actually going to get into space, but we're still just going to be like, you know, separate countries. We're not. There's never even like one overarching government.
That might happen when an alien.
that is basically
In fact-
humanity only ever help each other when there's like a bigger.
So that's what we're saying.
Like-
Like very unlikely, alien overlords just appear over Earth. The entire Earth would
Well, no,
unite
because
together. We
how-
would still be separate countries, but
Well, no, because
we'd
there would
be
be
all be
many
like,
cases that
come
want
on,
to like
guys.
become like cultist people and want to like worship the aliens as gods and shit, and they'd want to go off and be.
Yeah, you'd
like-
always have that, but that's not gonna be like a
But
big
no, but then
amount
the
of
main.
people.
That's what I'm saying. The
You
main.
never know. The insurgents were quite a problem in the Halo thing. They kept putting bombs on stuff.
Yeah, but they weren't worshipping the Covenant. The insurgents were fighting against the UNSC because they lived so far away from it.
They wanted to
didn't-
be free.
They
Oh, yeah.
didn't think they really had
They did
command
do it,
over
yeah.
them. Like that
I
always
mean,
happens with
it's
space
stupid,
things. Because like if you're, let's say you've never even seen Earth,
Mm.
you
Why
don't
would
even
you
know
fight
what's
for
on
it?
Earth, and you're expected to fight for it.
And pay taxes. God damn taxes. It was
And
always
buy
like making
your
frozen
own
tea
home.
over like
Sounds
inside of a
sounds an awful lot like never even seeing Britain, but doing everything for Britain and the Crown.
Well, to be fair,
America.
who do you think helps? Who do you think set up some of those vital, you know, like things that the American colonists need? You know, like bandages and stuff like that. You know.
And tea.
Yeah. To be honest, I think some people are a little ungrateful, and based on the way things have gone so far,
Maybe your government wouldn't have shut down if you still had a queen, you guys.
but never that.
I
Yeah.
don't think that would have helped at all.
I'm a Republican, so I don't even. Not Republican as in the American sense of the word.
Oh, I thought you were like
I
you're
mean,
not
as in the
a
British
religious
sense of the word.
nutcase. You know?
So, like.
You know, you wouldn't be in the American sense of the word because it wouldn't affect you really.
Free healthcare. Ugh!
Help the poor! What?
But what do you think about
Aliens.
aliens? What do we think about?
I've thought about
aliens?
this. If aliens are there, they're obviously very far away because we've seen a lot with the Hubble space. If they're that far away by the time they got here,
We'd be
we
dead.
wouldn't be. Put it that way.
Yeah.
What I've always
If
thought.
it takes 5 years to get to Mars, then
Well,
think about how
as
long
far
as
it
they-
takes.
It depends
Yeah.
on how long they've been around
Yeah.
and what kind of
To be honest, as long as
Technology they've got.
Like,
but I 100 like I
There
obviously
are
think
other life forms.
There's
out there.
no way
Oh,
there wouldn't
definitely.
be, but considering how many different suns there are and how many different
Yeah.
planets those suns would
Nobody's
have,
saying they're intelligent, and no one's saying they're like us.
Or if you considered that we were the most advanced thing in the whole of everywhere,
we very well could
I'd
be.
cry.
that'd be weird.
I'd cry.
But do you know when we see planets from the Hubble Space Telescope?
That planet's most likely not there.
No, yeah, like that is that planet like hundreds of years ago because light takes. It's really complicated, but
Yeah.
Trying to explain saying that if you're looking through a telescope and you see an alien
You're looking
waving
through
back at
time.
you,
yeah, they're actually like not there.
they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! Oh my god!
Oh, it's okay. He's dead now. That's totally cool.
Dude, wait.
So that's pretty much like looking back in time as well. Isn't
Basically,
it?
if
Pretty
Time
much
travel
is,
exists
In
in
a
a
way.
loose sense of the
We'll
word.
never be able to do what Doctor Who does.
Yeah.
Time travel exists in the fact that you can go backwards, but you cannot see forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no,
Because it hasn't happened.
people
yet.
who are like, oh no, there's no way there's aliens. Like, how
How can you
think
be
like
so
that? Like,
ignorant? I don't know if it's
there's
the
no
word,
way we're
The
not
only-
special. That's humans' main problem. We seem to think we're special.
but We seem
we're
to think
not.
we're destined for something.
We're-
That's what's holding us
Like,
back.
we're not special. We still have tribe mentality we had when we were fucking tribal.
To be honest, some people are just tribal. There's parts of the Amazon that are still tribes.
Yeah, no,
That's
but I mean, that's humans are still tribal.
Because that's
Hence the reason we fight stupid wars.
Yeah.
See,
Like,
the whole thing, if you got the opportunity to ask any question you wanted, what would you ask? And you,
to an alien.
most people would know, like, just
I would
say,
ask
like,
them
if
what
you
they-
got any question answered, most people would say they would ask,
The
what's the
meaning of
meaning of life? How did we get here? But it seems like a really pointless question.
I think they mean it, or what are we meant to
Because once you
fulfill?
get, because
I
we're
like
not supposed
the
to.
system there.
Once we get told, we're just gonna be like, oh,
Yeah, pretty good. That's a
Alright.
good system. I like it.
hands
Right.
up.
Yeah, I would ask them what they thought about Jesus or the Quran.
I don't see. That's so. I wouldn't.
What's Jesus?
And I'd be like,
Like,
exactly!
Do you mean like
Yes.
the machine in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? You can ask it
It
one
would be
question and it
pointless.
gives you the answer.
It would give you.
They
the
say
answer.
what's the meaning of life? He says 42.
Like it wouldn't.
And yeah, it would be a pointless question to ask because
Because then if it went the Big Bang, then everyone would be like, oh, alright.
Well, maybe they say, like, no, is it
That
love?
was kind of shit.
It's
Go on,
like-
ask you, Fudger.
What if the aliens came and you asked them how they felt about reproduction and the pleasure values of it in their species?
Because
They
yeah,
said,
I'd
then
like to
they'd
know
say, well,
I
let
want
me
to know if aliens fuck each other and if it's for fun.
For
or
fun,
For
yeah,
purpose.
because they're not.
Not a lot of animals.
We are a
Dolphins do.
minority.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's ever looked
Well, it's
at
only
how
us and
aliens
dolphins.
are
So, yeah, only
apart
us and-
from massive
Only
Yeah.
us and dolphins have
Yeah.
sex for
There's
fun.
other- there
I'd
are
be
other
worried
ones,
in that
but
sense, Ross, because
very
then he said,
small.
well, let me show you.
So I mean, like, let's say that it could be that they only do it for procreation.
Could be.
But the meaning of life is that. The meaning of life is just to continue life. There's no fucking meaning.
it's
to
like
it.
Minecraft.
Yeah, it's
There's no meaning to
There's
it.
no meaning to it, but you have to do it.
yeah, it's
Exactly.
the meaning of life is
Just
create
keep
more
going
life,
till you die.
Keep going.
Keep
Just
shagging.
keep
Just
Just
keep
keep
shagging.
swimming.
Just keep shagging.
But it seems like it does seem like a worthy cause to be on the planet for to continue everyone
What
else.
if there was a little video of like sperms with the voiceover of Dory so he can keep swimming?
There probably is.
There will be.
There
There should
Well,
sounds
you got-
like a thing
There's
that
everything
exists.
on the internet.
Do you think we could ever build a space station to the extent of the Death Star?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
way in the future.
To the side, yeah, okay.
Aye.
Way in the
Aye,
future.
as
We're
in,
not
like-
dead by that
Yeah,
point.
we're
You-
way going to be
Hey,
dead.
I'm not optimistic.
I don't think humans will be around for that much longer. In the sense of how long the world's been around.
Well, we have to get off the Earth before it dies.
Maybe like another, I don't know, like
That's the whole point of space
5,000
travel.
years and we'd be done.
That's the whole point
Yeah,
of space
but
travel.
how far
Get
away
off
do
your
you
dime.
get for when the sun collapses on itself?
Right.
As soon as you leave
Far
Earth,
away.
as soon as you leave Earth, you've just got to worry about the next thing that could go wrong.
Okay,
And-
now we're on Mars. That's going to maybe spare us an extra 24 hours before the sun goes from Earth to
Alright.
Mars in the sense of it exploding.
Okay, on the subject of sci-fi, when you
But-
get to the actual, when you get away from Earth, be it like, I don't know, like fantastical warp or like FTL, or even if it's like slow-moving transports that take centuries.
Yeah, then we've
Eventually-
expanded. But
like Wall-E. Like the people on the ship in Wall-E have been on that ship to the point where they've devolved.
Mm.
Like humans aren't what humans used to be anymore.
it was the machines that put them on there.
Yeah, no, I'm being
We're not
serious.
going
Like
into the Pixar.
Wall-E,
thing,
although a kids' film, gave a look into the fact that if we could use the space travel that takes a long time,
Yeah.
Or not so much space travel, but the fact is,
Wasn't the whole thing
we
well
just-
at the end?
if we
It's-
can't actually find a planet that has oxygen or anything, and we lose Earth, it would just be us in giant
Ships.
moving ships,
Like in that episode of Doctor Who.
going around.
We'd kind of be
Do
like.
you remember that episode of Doctor Who? Did anyone
Yeah.
remember that one
I
where
never watched Doctor Who.
there's, you know, you don't enjoy it, but we leave Earth because Earth's dying,
That's it.
and now there was nowhere to go, so all the countries are just on ships. And there was a really funny reference in it because it was when Catherine Tate was, his sidekick.
Not Catherine Tate, as it's
Yeah. That's who played. I can't remember.
Donna,
what. Donna, yeah. And she, when they were on the Great Britain ship, and she was like, "Oh," the robot said to her, "Oh, you've got a Scottish accent. We don't really hear that anymore." And she went, "Why?" And they were like, "Yeah, Scotland's got their own ship." It's like they're not part of Great Britain in it. And then you find out the ships aren't actually ships; they're like riding on the back of massive space whales.
which was weird.
But like, it's still
But
like,
whatever. That's Doctor Who for you.
Yeah.
What about something like, I haven't actually seen it yet, but that Elysium.
Oh, like
Something like
where
that.
it's a very grim future, but very happenable.
Yeah.
Well, it would be
In
the
my
point,
eyes.
It could happen, and if it does, but then it would just be a
Because
giant. It would be
I-
a living space next to Earth, which is just going to die out.
I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely see if aliens ever arrived here, us treating them like we treat the aliens in District 9.
Yeah.
We wouldn't
No.
be nice to them.
No.
They would do that to us. If they've got the stuff to get here.
But if it's like District 9, where they could destroy us, but they're here and they're stranded,
Yeah.
they've not got any
Yeah.
power left.
Yeah.
They've not got any weapons left. They're here as basically, if you washed up on a, let's say you're Captain Cook or whatever he was with his muskets and everything. Your ship crashed. These natives then put you in little camps, basically. Yes, you could destroy them if you had the means to.
But we don't.
However,
But yeah.
you're stranded there. It's like that. If an advanced alien life form stopped over Earth, we went in and found out they were basically all dying, we would put them in thingy camps.
Because if they were
wouldn't-
advanced, and we know they could kill us.
Yeah, exactly. So we treat them like shit because they're a threat. Like,
But,
humans are dicks. I wouldn't want a fucking alien to arrive here because it would go badly.
Me and
Like,
Andrew know this question, but the whole if an alien landed in your back garden and you shot it and ate it, would
Would that be
called-
murder?
Would it be murder? Because we don't
or
have
hunting.
because we don't actually have any.
There's no
Laws.
alien rights
It
laws.
would be murder.
We
but
have
you did kill
human.
them.
We have human rights.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
There-
alien
there are
lands in
no
your back
alien
garden, you
rights.
kill it and eat it. Have you murdered it or were you hunting?
Because there are no alien rights.
Would
It's
it
like
not
there's
kind
no
of be
deer
like
rights.
a
There's human rights.
declaration
They would
of,
classify it as probably an
war?
animal attack.
But it would be that whole thing where it would be, you killed an alien, which
Wouldn't that be assault or something?
Well, no, you're
They've
saying
not got
that
any
thing about
rights,
the
so it
deer
could be
there as
assault.
well.
When you kill a deer,
If you-
deer doesn't charge assault, does it?
Is it not kind of
the
Yeah,
whole thing
but
about hitting
if-
the deer,
if-
everyone knows that.
Yeah,
Breach of peace.
if you hit it, then
And
you
the
have to get someone else
intergalactic-
to take it for you.
System.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. There's no space laws.
I'm sure someone
As
would be
far
pretty
as we
pissed
know.
if an alien showed up and
Yeah,
you
they
were
would
like,
be. But
you
what we're
shot it.
saying is,
Like, is the whole thing you can own land in space, but there's no governing authority to stop other people. You could own a space on the moon, you could
but
build a
I could
house
then
on it,
invade it, and
but then
couldn't
you
do
could
anything
walk
about
into the
it.
house and you'd be like, get out, and you could say no, and no one would be able to do anything
Although-
about it because there would be no governing authority to stop you from going into that house.
So what you're saying is we need law in space.
If it
We
wasn't
need a
allowed-
What
government
we're
on the
saying
moon
here
before
is
people can
everybody
properly
should
live on
submit to the Federation of Europe, and then the world will be better. We can start colonizing space.
And it'll be good times. Good times.
I think we'd be
Although,
alright
what
if
if
it was
the-
just you owning everything. We're
What if
not
that
bad.
alien that
Better than
that
America.
landed in your back garden wasn't actually violent, then you caught it?
But
You
it
got a
would
lot
be
more
no-
praise than if
Like,
it was dead.
do you know everybody always thinks about aliens as like these bipedal things that are kind of like us and they can...
most
Yeah.
likely just.
What if it
organisms.
landed, it's just a big blob of pink jelly,
Yeah.
and it speaks to you telepathically?
Or it doesn't even speak. It just
Like those
it's just a
things in
thing.
But
It
it still
doesn't have
travels
moving
like a
like a
space.
jellyfish.
still travels through space, and that means it's more fucking intelligent than we are.
Space jellyfish.
Like,
What are they called, Greg? The things in Mass Effect that are space
Hanar.
jellyfish.
Hanar.
Hanar were yeah, because they just showed up and like they were peaceful and everything. They just told everyone they were like space Buddhists. They were
Yeah.
awesome, and then they like hired all these assassins, which were basically their little Shaolin monks, kinda. So
There was a
Hanar
thing-
are Buddhists.
There was a
That's
thing.
what
There
I've
was
just
a
figured
thing
out.
like that in Halo, wasn't there? In the ODST, it showed those floating things that the Covenant.
Oh,
captured.
yeah, the things
they,
that-
they,
oh,
actually-
yeah.
they were. Yeah,
the
they were.
Huroks or engineers.
Yeah, they were just shields.
Yeah, they were nice. They were.
No, they were engineers.
They were
Yeah, that
shields.
was engineers, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they got used as shields, but they're not meant to be used as shields.
Oh right.
They're like Your little battlefield.
Sorry, radar.
It's like the hunters. The hunters aren't one creature.
Oh yeah, there are millions of tiny little worm things.
Yeah.
It's like they're two, but they can't fit into one body.
Gross.
But,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah. So that discussion has just allowed me to think. Me and Greg once spoke for basically like a whole day straight about how we think there should be a federated Europe. We should speak about stuff like that one day. But what we've talked about predictions about space, but you need to predict what the fuck's going to happen on Earth before anything can happen.
We'll move on to that next week.
Yeah.
We'll
Next
document
week.
what we
Next
think is
week,
gonna happen in the
Earth, the final frontier.
Sorry.
future. These are the voyages of
A guy.
a guy.
Will America pass
Yeah,
it
we'll
down?
be back momentarily with your question.
With the bucket hat of questions.
Yes.
We never.
We don't have a bucket.
Shut up, first. Damn it.